Rise and shine. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Brother Cause, also known as Michael Ben Elohim on FOG Media. Today we're going to be focusing on feet on the ground tech aspect of our channel where we discuss technology and how we can utilize it for our benefit. Today we're going to be discussing how to utilize AI to make a simple game. We're gonna start slow. There'll be other episodes where we talk about building platforms and other things like that creatively. You could check us out at blackbotai.tech. This is a whole collaborative effort. We got Feet on the Ground Media, Blackbot AI, and we have some other things that we'll be showing soon. Because we're trying to create an ecosystem. It's not even so much as trying. I've already created the ecosystem. So we're really doing a rollout right now. So again, I know a lot of people have heard much information and interacted with AI for different reasons. There's a lot of pictures and reimagining oneself and so forth. But I want to focus on the creative aspect, the actually doing the building part. So first, I'm going to introduce you to a game I made the other day. It's available on the Blackbot gaming section on the website. And I thought about The Price is Right. Remember that show, The Price is Right? I used to watch a lot of Price is Right. I always wondered how the hell do you get on The Price is Right to win? I used to always wonder that with a lot of the game shows of the 80s and the 90s, especially. But so I said, why not make a game show, AI driven game show app? You figure people are already in their phones, they're playing all types of games from multi-million and billion-dollar corporations and so forth. So why not try to tap into something a little more simple, practical, and that we might be have a greater sense of connectedness to. Now, initially, I was going to come out and already have we're going to build from scratch. But first, I want to just demonstrate the game that I made the other day. Again, more so, we're very much focused on providing you real examples, real life examples, not just talking. We could always talk. All right, let's find where my. Let's find. Let's find the app in question. All right. So I decided to name this game show, this AI game show, Mind Spark. It's to spark your mind, try to get your mind moving. I recommend playing this in the morning before you go to work on your phone. All of the apps that I make, and you'll see as we start to roll out some things in our collaboration with Blackbot. Um, all these platforms can be used on your phone, tablet, or lap. Your phone, your tablet, or your laptop. All right. And so let's get right into this. I wanted to make this game very simple. No crazy sign in. Let's just play. How often do you come in contact with a game in a Play Store and you gotta do all this synchronizing and shit? Let's just play. You know, um, I want to simplify the experience to that. Like if you've experienced the Sega Genesis era, the Super Nintendo era, the first Nintendo era, uh, the first Sega Master System, I was born in '82, so I'm not familiar with too much of the ColecoVision and so forth, but I had access to that stuff as well. But the memorable things was the Mario Brothers and shit, even the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know if anybody ever played Wheel of Fortune for Sega Genesis back in the day. So we're gonna start quick. I'm gonna get my player name in here. We're gonna put Bruh Cause. And come on down. All right. So you get to select your game. We got some different trivia center games. Again, you think about your and they don't play just one game the whole show. They play a variety of games. So I wanted to capture that in this design. So as you can see, I'm up here at the top. You know, I got my little shades on. Let's play. Let's play something that's relative to us. Fact or fiction. So as you can see, we booting up. And when we're done with this demo, we're gonna go ahead and make a game. We're gonna make a quick game. I'm gonna show you how fast it is, how easy it is to make a video game, or even not necessarily a full scale platform. That might take some time. But let's start with fact or fiction. Question number one: Honey never spoils. True or false? Boom. The Great Wall of China is visible from space with the naked eye. I don't know. Why do you have to put the naked eye part in there? Let's put close but no spark. See, a group of owls is called a parliament. True. Look at that. That's a very good one. Fact or fiction? Goldfish have a 3-second memory. I don't know. False. I wonder if I might have to put in what the correct answer is when you get it wrong. So program that in there. There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all the beaches of the earth. Who the fuck knows that? Oh, so my show is over. This particular portion of the game. My brain waves are off the charts, whether you are shocking us with correct answers or experiencing a momentary power surge. You definitely kept your circuits engaged. Voltage up for next time. That's Sparky is the host. I'm probably gonna have an animated host in the game, asking the questions. And these are things that you could really program in. And when I say program, I don't mean conventional technical jargon. I'm strictly saying from your thought. One moment. All right. So yeah, we got a guest in the chat. Good morning. Thanks for joining us for the moment. All right. So let's get back into creating something today. Why not? Okay. So the tool I personally use to make some of my apps, I use different platforms, but today's example is going to be using Google AI Studio. I believe there's a free tier. Those things are limited in many ways whenever you're dealing with a free tier of any service. So consider that. Um, I got a year subscription to Google AI services. If you don't, if you don't want to pay, but you're in college, institution of higher education, you might have the option to get a discount or a free year subscription with full access, so you can really push the limits of this technology. So let's think about it. Let's think about a game first. Let's think about something to make. Mm, mm, mm. Let's make a puzzle game. I'm into puzzles, critical thinking, things that get your mind working. Let's let's create a puzzle game like Tetris that's um has beautiful has backgrounds that change throughout game. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. This is what is called vibe coding. You catch a vibe, you put it in there, you see what comes out of it. Just from doing it doesn't mean that it's complete. You do have to continue to provide the vision for the experience you want a person that's going to use this to have. I believe personally where you when you get into starting to describe and define and create um, things from scratch, you're really just using the technology as a tool. That doesn't, you're really just programming it another way versus it doing all of the conceptual work for you. Because once you see the output, you start to decide how you want it to look and how you want it to work. There's ways for you to create apps and then get access to the Apple App Store and Google Play Store as well, so you can monetize your apps. When you see a situation like this where you literally just type in a sentence for the concept and you start to build it out, um, I always like to take the core idea and then make it better than the original version or concept if it's something like a Tetris. Got my morning coffee in Georgia. It takes a little bit of time initially to set it up. Again, it's building a full framework for the idea, and then we'll see what we got. Look, so there it created its own name and title. Let's just see how the game plays out of. All right. Wow. So as you can see, the backgrounds are changing. There's a futuristic background. So I see when I keep pressing the down button, the start icon pops up. So that's something you're gonna want to communicate with the AI about not having occur. So it's like correcting an error. Um, this doesn't require you having any advanced technological background or anything. But when we get to thinking about Black children, technology, what they call STEM, um, I would just focus more so on letting them explore and create using these types of tools and monetizing them. We talk about financial literacy and economics with our children. Um, the system already has positions that are available for them to fill. I'm not sure, um, in what ways we see those things benefit the Black community as a whole. But one approach um, I'm heavily into right now is building access for the youth to create the jobs of the future. And so they'll be setting the standards and foundations for things that they'll have full control and ownership of through using AI. Uh, so again, feet on the ground radio, feet on the ground media, it encompasses everything. A lot of our content previously centered heavily on history, and it's still going to. We're going to have that aspect of our platform, but right now the most important thing I think is promoting this technology and getting our people access to it and familiar with it so they can empower themselves the way they want to. So the background hasn't changed again. So that's another thing. When you start to play through these demos you create, you want to make sure you pay attention to the things that are not the way you want them to be. And that goes for everything, from the letters to if it looks too clunky to you, you can always change that dynamic. You can make this a 3D game. Uh, let's try that. Let's see if we can say make the game 3D. All right, so the background's changing for the game. Then it goes back to the same one. All right, different environment. Say make the game 3D. So it named itself. It's Tetri Visions. I might mess around and put this on a website on the blackbotai.tech. We got the Blackbot Gaming. And so I've been updating and uploading new products to try out. We just released a vision board app that was developed using the same techniques I've just shown you. Now, no two apps are going to be the same because everybody's mind and approach and how they see the world is different. So that's the uniqueness of it all. Um, having the ability to create whatever it is you want in a digital and possibly the physical world. There we go. So now we got the updated version of the app, and it's now 3D as far as the game board is. Now, I'm displaying 3D blocks on the right, but they're still the same as they were. Well, it's my first session doing this, just previewing some technology, how to start creating. Um, I'm very much into the basics first because most of this stuff is free. Um, it's just there's not much access to working working products and interactions out there. There's a lot we can do other than making photos of ourselves on dragons. We can start to build some frameworks for things that can help get us a little further ahead a lot faster. Why not? All right. So yeah, stay tuned for the next episode. Like, share, and subscribe. Feet on the Ground Media, Black by AI Tech.